Hello everyone. So today I will give an introduction about our Hariomed Culture Time-Lapse Incubator. So today's introduction will be in 4 parts: introduction, culture procedure, software, and cultivate test data. Our time-lapse incubator have the advantages of stable, high-quality image, easy operation, and cost-effective. So how do we realize those features? Firstly is the safe environment. For temperature, we design the lid and bottom heating to ensure the uniformity and fast recovery. And for the gas concentration, how do we ensure the clean and stable environment? So all gas entering to the chamber will be filtered by HEPA filter and UV light. And also, a dual wavelength sensor is to ensure the concentration. So we can see here a dual screen displaying all key culture parameters, and it is independent with the touchscreen, which is very stable for the real-time data display like temperature, gas concentration, and humidity as well. For the petri dish operation, we adopted a single dish in and out design. So only one petri dish will be exposed when you are operating in this petri dish to ensure the fast recovery in both gas and temperature. So the temperature recovery will be less than 1 minute, and the gas recovery for CO2 and N2 will be less than 2.5 minutes. And when you are using premixed gas, so the recovery will be less than 3 minutes. So in the top of the lid, a QR code scanner is here. So when the patient is putting in with the label, the patient information will be recognized automatically. And the noise level is low. And for the image system, we use Hoffman contrast image system to ensure the image effective. And the shooting wavelength is safe, which is 630 nanometer. And for our default and recommended setting, 11 focal plane and shooting every 10 minutes. So the exposure time for one picture will be less than 0.02 seconds. And for one picture, the exposure time for 1 day will be less than 32 seconds. So it is very good for embryo development when you are comparing it to the need to take it out and observe it every day manually. And the culture for Hariomed time-lapse is very flexible. Both pure gas and premixed gas can be used, while the dry and humidity culture can be chosen as well. And the humidity recovery is fast as well. Related humidity recovered to 90% within 10 minutes when you open the lid and close after 10 seconds. And you can see this one is our humidity box design. No pipework design here, so eliminate the risk of water or condensate pollution. The survey of the dish is specially treated to increase hydrophilicity. No bubble will be generated when preparing the dish, so don't need to spend time on blowing it, which takes most time. And the well design is deeper, so with same or less oil volume, the oil level will be higher, so to ensure more stable culture environment. So we can see this side, it is a picture for our time-lapse incubator. So this one will be the main unit, and this one is a subunit. And so the maximum capacity for one unit will be 16 petri dishes, and for each dish, it can hold 16 embryos. So the culture capacity will be 256 embryos in one time. And in this side, we can see it is the main unit, and this one will be a subunit. So each subunit can be easily connected to a main unit with sharing touchscreen and gateway, which can double the culture capacity from 256 to 512 with much more lower costs. And for the subunit and main unit, all the components is same. So next, I would like to share some parameter comparison between Hariomed Culture Time-Lapse Incubator with other brands. So for the capacity, Hariomed culture have the largest capacity with 256 embryos, and also we can connect it to a subunit to double the capacity. And the temperature and gas precision is stable with less than 0.1 degrees and 0.1%. And for Hariomed culture, both pure gas and premixed gas can be supplied, and also for the culture method, dry and humidity culture can be adopted. And for default setting, the exposure time for one picture will be less than 0.02 image. And the unique design of our petri dish, the oil volume will be 2 ml with the height with 1.5 millimeter. Next, I would like to share some culture procedure during the daily operation with the embryo with our time-lapse incubator. So firstly, for the appearance of our time-lapse incubator, so this one will be the main screen and the chamber lid, and the lid open button, and the indicator with the green light is ready to open. Yellow is the chamber is running, and for the red is some alarm is operating. And here is the subscreen. And for this side, we'll prepare a gas calibrate port. And for the subunit, all components is the same except a main touch screen. So all the touch screen information can be operated in the main screen. So how do we use Hariomed culture time-lapse incubator for daily embryo culture? So firstly is the information preparation. Create a profile in the computer site and enter the sample detail and then print the label. And then go to the petri dish operating, stick the label on the petri dish, and then select a free dish room in the incubator, and then put the petri dish in. And during the incubating, all the information like video, pictures, and all focal plane can be viewed both in the device and the server. And after the incubation ends, only the information will be stored in the server, so we can check the information in the computer site. So firstly, go to the login site. We can create a new profile with new. And then put the patient detail with the ID, name, date of birth, and BMI or some other information. And then add a new treatment. All treatments means like for one patient, maybe there will be more than one treatment like IVF or ICSI or something. So you can just select new and then create a new treatment here and then print the label. And then stick the label on the new petri dish in this site. And then select a free dish chamber room in the incubator touchscreen. Click on here. And then select embryo cultivate. And then put the petri dish in and double check the information. And then after the first scanning with the autofocal plane scanning, select all the wells that have embryos, because for the empty wells we don't need to take picture for it, which is wasting time. So after selecting all wells, we can double check of the focal plane. If the focal plane is adopted, so we can just select confirm, and then the culture is begin. So we can see in the left picture, it will be the image, video, and other information in the time-lapse incubator device. So we can see here's the pictures and here's the informations. And when you are incubating, so all information can be viewed both in the device or the computer side. So once the incubating is end, all the information will only be stored in the server, but it will be permanently stored, so you can check anytime in the computer site in the software. So for each row of embryos, we can see all key information in each picture. So this one will be the icon showing the status of these embryos. We can see there's different utilized record here. So for green, it's transfer, frozen, transfer, after frozen, and then discard and to be decision. And for this side will be different focal planes, and this will be the key time parameters of different key time point. And go to the report site, we can see all embryos here, and then the key parameter image of each embryos in the key time point. Also, for each picture, the focal plane and the time point can be selected. And then we can export the PDF of the report or just print the report in this button. So next, I would like to introduce our software. So the main function of the computer software including data sync for instrument operation and be stored and viewed in any computer that connected to the server at any time. Real-time embryo viewing, embryo abnormal detection, and if it is not acceptable, so the record can be modified as well. And then key data export like culture events, pictures, videos. Cultivation statistics. You can view and count the embryo cultivation performance in the laboratory to see the performance for that period. So I will introduce all interface one by one. So first will be the patient information. So this one will be all patient details, and there will be the treatment details. And also here will be the treatment process, including medical information record and the embryo list. And we can add treatment record and dish information here, and then print the label or rename the treatment. Or for the culture dish in treatment, we can view here, and if the label will have the reprint, it is also available. And click on transfer here. We can add and view all record of patient treatment detail like medical, embryo culture. And then click on view dish here. We can choose to play the time-lapse video. And then we can see all cultured embryos for this patch dish here. And for all key parameters like focal plane and status and key time points with different colors. And then in this side, we can play the time-lapse video for all selected embryos. And also here will be the icon that's showing different status of the embryo. Then click onto the embryo. We can see the big picture of the selected wells, and here will be the well number. And for this one, we can also see the all embryo pictures for the last image. And then this one is the focal plane as well. And then here will be the timeline. And then all key time point will be shown here. And we can see a red triangle here. This one will be the abnormal event identification automatically. And here we can play the timeline. And if you would like to see the video for only one key time point, so we can just play the dynamic event play here. And then double click to the picture and then go to the annotate part. We can see there's the different parts of the auto annotate. For this box, it will be the dynamic data, and for this one is the morphology data, including the blastocyst, cleavage, and the pronucleus. And then for this box, it will be the abnormal annotate with the auto abnormal annotate and the custom annotate here. And if there will be any abnormal annotate, it will be shown the detail here. And then go to the video part. We can export all videos or pictures here. So for each embryos, we can see here, this one will be the select and end point of the video export. And then here's the begin and end time. And here's different focal plane. You can select to export each focal plane or just one for the 0 focal plane. And then save one image. And here will be the generate speed. And then click on the culture dish here. We can see the two culture dish. And then click on timeline. We can see the for each embryo showing in timeline, so you can see for each time key point to view the image comparison of each microwell. And also we can see the color here. So different color indicate different stage, like blue is freeze and green is transfer. And then also from here, you can just select this embryo and mark it as transfer or some other stage and then save. And also by clicking on each embryos, you can select compare here. Then go to the compare page. You can compare the embryos with different scores, different key time points, or you can see if there are any annotate here. So next, I would like to share some cultivate test data between our incubators with C200. So we test the performance of Hariomed time-lapse incubator for both dry and humidity modes. Use Labotex C200 as a control group. For two test groups, 2 dishes with full 16 embryos were put into the incubator respectively, and the 301 dish were put in C200 for control, with 2 droplets, 10 to 15 embryos per droplet. The experience repeats for 5 times and all data have been collected and analyzed in the next page. So we can see for the incubator C200, the cleavage embryos will be 104, and then for time-lapse it will be 170. And then the cleavage rate for time-lapse dry mode will be 98.85%, and for humidity it will be 96.69%, which is all higher than the C200. And also for the two-cell blastocyst rate, the time-lapse dry mode will be 92%, and for humidity it will be 89%. And the P will all be respectively significant than C200. And I would like to share some pictures during the embryo test. So for the C200, we can see for each droplet, we can see all embryos in one picture, but we cannot recognize which embryos are are countering with the timeline. We can only see all embryos in one picture. And then for the time-lapse incubator, we can see each embryos within different focal planes with pronuclear stage, 2-cell stage, 4-cell stage, 8-cell stage, moral, and blastocyst. So with the pictures and time-lapse video with each embryos, we can assess the culture process within the video, which will be more convenient and directly than the C200. So here's everything for today's sharing. Thanks for listening. And if you've got any other questions, please contact us.